Welcome to the 39th Annual Mississippi College Academic Competition. The competition began the year with 20 teams from high schools across the state. Teams are matched in quiz-like competition, utilizing questions developed and tested for the high school level. Our goal is to recognize academic knowledge, to encourage learning, and to foster the spirit of competition and fair play. We have reached the final match. This match features Jackson Academy and East Rankin Academy. Let's meet the teams.
Josh Watson, senior.
Bailey Berry, senior.
Gautam Ray, junior.
Deb Sharma, senior.
Anna Peyton Parker, junior.
Jeffrey Gow, senior.
Audrey Hawk, sophomore.
Max Gainey, senior.
Dylan Davis, senior.
Peyton Patrick, senior.
So we'll begin round one with a toss-up question worth 10 points. Who played the lead role in Top Gun Maverick?
East Rankin, Dylan.
Tom Cruise.
Yes.
For 10 points, which planet about 75,000 miles in diameter is the sixth planet from the sun and second largest in the solar?
East Rankin, Dylan.
Saturn.
Yes.
For 15 points, Angkor Wat is found in what country?
Jackson Academy, Bailey.
Thailand?
No. East Rankin, Dylan.
Cambodia.
Yes.
And we move to a math question. A school bus that travels 1 mile in 90 seconds is averaging how many miles per hour?
East Rankin, Dylan.
40.
Yes.
And another math question. What is the equation of the line parallel to y equals 2x minus 5 and passing through the point 3, coordinates 3, 7?
East Rankin, Dylan.
Y equals 2x plus 1.
Yes.
And a toss-up for 10 points. Which Janus word, beginning with the letter C, designates both a beginning and an ending as in a ceremony for presenting academic degrees? No answer for either teams. You'll need to learn this one. It's commencement. Grab your pencils for another 10-point question. The volume of a cone with a radius of 6 meters and a height of 12 meters would be the same as that of a cone with a height of 6 meters and what radius?
Jackson Academy, Gautam.
16 meters.
No. East Rankin, Dylan.
6 square root of 2.
Yes.
And we move to a 15-point toss-up. Identify the U.S. Trust Territory in the Pacific Islands used from 1946 to 1958 for U.S. nuclear bomb test. Inhabitants of this island?
Jackson Academy, Josh.
Bikini Bay.
Yes.
For 10 points, on which mountain did God give Moses the 10 Commandments?
Jackson Academy, Bailey.
Mount Sinai?
Yes.
For 10 points, how many ribs enclose the chest in the human body?
East Rankin, Dylan.
12.
No. Jackson Academy, Josh.
24.
Yes.
It would be 24 or 12 pairs. For 10 points, all 12 ribs on each side of the body are connected to the vertebral column or backbone by small joints, and the uppermost 7 on each side are also connected to the breastbone by which tough elastic material?
Jackson Academy, Gautam.
Cartilage.
Yes.
For 10 points, what government position did John McCormack hold in 1963 and 1964 when the U.S. was without a vice president, meaning that he would have become president if Lyndon?
East Rankin, Dylan.
Speaker of the House.
Yes.
For 10 points, what amendment, ratified on February the 10th, 1967, provided for filling
Jackson Academy, Gautam.
14th Amendment.
No.
a vacancy in the vice presidency?
East Rankin, Dylan.
The 25th Amendment.
Yes.
For 10 points, what state is home to Area 51?
Jackson Academy, Bailey.
Arizona?
No. East Rankin, Dylan.
New Mexico.
No.
It's going to be Nevada. Grab your pencils. By how many degrees Fahrenheit do the boiling point and freezing point of water differ?
East Rankin, Dylan.
180.
Yes.
For 10 points, identify the French chemist and microbiologist who discovered that bacteria caused.
East Rankin Dillon.
Pasteur.
Yes.
It's another math question for 10 points. An item that retailed for $25 in 1990 and for $35 5 years later had an average increase in price of what percent per year?
East Rankin Dillon.
8%.
Yes.
For 10 points, name the diagnostic procedure performed during pregnancy to determine the health and maturity of an
Jackson Academy. Bev.
Ultrasound. Ultrasound.
No.
by obtaining a sample of the fluid that bathes the human fetus. No answer from East Rankin. It's amniocentesis. And that round one. We'll be back in a moment with a preliminary score. After the first round of play, the score is Jackson Academy 45, East Rankin Academy 110. We move into round two, which is a toss-up with bonus questions round. And we'll start this round with a math question for 10 points. The product of the quantity x minus 2 times the quantity x plus 2 is how much greater than the product of the quantity x plus 4 times the quantity x minus 4?
Jackson Academy, got him.
12.
Yes.
And here are your bonus questions. Identify each of the following concerning explorers. For 5 points, the first Portuguese explorer to circumnavigate the world.
Magellan.
Yes.
For 10 points, Venetian and explorer of China and Asia from 1271 to 1295.
Marco Polo.
Yes.
For 15 points, first English explorer to circumnavigate the world.
Drake.
Yes.
For 20 points, first famous European to see the Pacific from its eastern shore.
Balboa.
Yes.
And we go back to a toss-up question for 10 points. Which verb designates all of the following? To embellish a piece of writing, to refine, as in to improve one's manners, and to brighten, as by rubbing.
Jackson Academy, Bailey.
Burnish.
No. East Rankin, Audrey.
Polish.
Yes.
And here are your bonus questions. Identify each of the following words ending in I-L-E. For 5 points, easily broken.
Fragile.
Yes.
For 10 points, relating to old age.
No answer.
No answer, Jackson Academy.
Senile.
Yes.
And that is good for 10 points. And we go back to a toss-up question. What slang term derived from a Monty Python flying circus skit does the computer world use for junk email, though?
Jackson Academy, Bailey.
Spam.
Yes.
And here are your bonus questions. One at a time, name the 4 states that border Minnesota. We're not counting Michigan, even though the state boundaries meet in the middle of Lake Superior. For 5 points.
North Dakota.
Yes.
For 10 points.
South Dakota.
Yes.
For 15 points.
Wisconsin.
Yes.
And for 20 points.
Iowa.
Yes.
And we go back to a toss-up question for 15 points. Name the U.S. presidents who ran against each other in what came to be called the Big Three election of 1912 because they had all graduated.
Jackson Academy, got him.
Woodrow Wilson, Taft, and Theodore Roosevelt.
Yes.
And here are your bonus questions. Identify each of the following concerning the word naked. For 5 points, of the 2 large classes of seed plants, the one with naked or uncovered seeds and named from 2 Greek words meaning naked and seed.
Gymnosperm.
Yes.
For 10 points, room or building equipped for physical training whose name is derived from the Greek for naked or stripped.
Gymnasium.
Yes.
For 15 points, what is the common name of the large bronze statue of a seated naked man created by Auguste Rodin?
The Birth of Venus.
No.
No.
Say it again.
The Thinker.
Yes.
And we go back to a toss-up question for 20 points. Name the two legendary Greek lovers featured in poems by both Lord Byron. I need to go back to a 10-point question. Name the three animals that served as party symbols in the 1912 presidential election.
East Rankin, Dillon.
The bull moose, the donkey, and the elephant.
Yes.
And here are your bonus questions. One at a time. Name the 4 U.S. presidents whose last names end in a silent E. For 5 points.
Coolidge.
Yes.
For 10 points.
Monroe.
Yes.
For 15 points. We need an answer, East Rankin. No answer from East Rankin. Jackson Academy.
Pierce.
Yes.
Yes, and that was good for 15 points for Jackson Academy. And that concludes round 2. We'll be back in a moment with a preliminary score. At the end of 2 rounds of play, the score is Jackson Academy 220, East Rankin Academy 165. We move into round 3, which is a toss-up with bonus questions. And we'll start with a toss-up for 20 points. Name the 2 legendary Greek lovers featured in poems by both Lord Byron and Christopher Marlowe. One drowned while swimming across the Hellespont to see his beloved, prompting her to throw herself to her death in the sea. No answer from either team. It's Hero and Leander. A toss-up for 10 points. Balloons from the football stadium in El Paso, Texas, that later turned up 900 miles away in Nebraska, were likely carried on their way by which rapid current 6 miles high?
Jackson Academy, got him.
Stream.
Yes.
And here are your bonus questions. Identify each of the following concerning kings. For 5 points. The King of England when George Washington was inaugurated in 1789.
George III.
Yes.
For 10 points, the English king who in April 1606 granted a group of merchants called the Virginia Company a charter to create 2 colonies in the New World.
James I.
Yes.
For 15 points, the king who was forced to flee England, effectively abdicating the throne for trying to restore Roman Catholicism as the official religion of England during the events known as the Glorious Revolution.
James II.
Yes.
And for 20 points, who was the king of France when George Washington was inaugurated in 1789?
Louis the 16th.
No. Say it again.
Louis the 16th.
Yes.
Yes. And we go back to a toss-up. This is going to be a math question. What is the circumference of the largest circle that can be inscribed in a square of area 36 square meters?
Jackson Academy, Bailey. 6'5". Yes.
And here are your bonus questions. One at a time, name the 4 books of the Bible that have 50 or more chapters. For 5 points.
Psalms.
Yes.
For 10 points.
John.
No.
No. East Rankin.
Isaiah.
Yes.
Yes. And we go back to a toss-up question. Identify the family that succeeded to the Russian throne in 1613 and ruled for the next.
East Rankin, Dillon.
The Romanovs.
Yes.
And here are your bonus questions. Because flying is an important characteristic of insects, they are classified into orders according to the types of wings they have. For 5 points, identify the order whose name means equal wings.
Lepidoptera.
No.
Jackson Academy.
Arthropoda.
No.
It's going to be Isoptera. And we move on to another toss-up question. Which French chemist in 1777 gave the name oxygen to the life-supporting gas discovered by Scheele and Priestley?
East Rankin, Dillon.
Lavoisier.
Yes.
And here are your bonus questions. Identify each of the following by giving an answer ending in the letters O-O-N. For 5 points, wealthy and powerful industrialist.
Tycoon.
Yes.
For 10 points, double reed bass woodwind instrument.
Bassoon.
Yes.
For 15 points, word completing the title of George Sorrow's Sunday Blank on the island of La Grande Jatte.
Monsoon.
No.
Jackson Academy.
I thought it was afternoons. Afternoons?
Yes.
And we go back to a toss-up for 20 points. Identify the American attorney who served as the 77th and 85th United States Attorney General in the administrations of Presidents George H.W. Bush and Donald J. Trump.
Jackson Academy, Bailey.
Be the judge.
No.
No answer from East Rankin. It's going to be William or Bill Barr. We go back to a toss-up question for 10 points. In which country were Caesar's assassins, Marcus Brutus and Cassius? And that concludes round 3. We'll be back in a moment with a preliminary score. After 3 rounds of play, the score is Jackson Academy 310, East Rankin Academy 225. We move into the 4th and final round in our final match. We'll start with a 10-point toss-up. In 2004, the $50 bill got splashes of red, white, and blue as part of an effort to make U.S. bills harder to counterfeit. Which president?
East Rankin, Dillon.
Grant.
Yes.
For 10 points, give the term of Japanese origin for a tidal wave resulting from an earthquake.
Jackson Academy, Josh.
Tsunami.
Yes.
Which 2-word name, both parts of which begin with C, designates heaven as the goal of Christians' pilgrimage in John Bunyan's Pilgrim's Progress?
East Rankin, Peyton.
Celestial City.
Yes.
It's a math question for 10 points. The square of 12 is what fractional portion of the square of 16? No answer from either team. It was 9/16. For 15 points, what is the name of the gap between one nerve cell or neuron and another?
East Rankin, Dillon.
Synapse.
Yes.
What does a manometer measure? Manometer.
Jackson Academy, Josh.
Depth.
No.
No answer from East Rankin. It's pressure. For 5 points, what is a female elephant called?
East Rankin, Peyton.
Cow.
Yes.
For 20 points, which explorer is honored in both Norway and Minnesota on October 9th for his alleged discovery of North America?
East Rankin, Max.
Leif Erikson.
Yes.
It's another math question. What is the quotient when the least common multiple of 8a cubed and 12a is divided by the greatest common factor of 8a cubed and 12a?
East Rankin, Peyton.
1,
No. Jackson Academy, Bailey.
1/3.
No.
It's going to be 6A squared, a 10-point toss-up. Fractional distillation used to separate a mixture of substances such as petroleum depends on differences in what property?
Jackson Academy, got him.
Boiling point.
Yes.
For 10 points, U.S. employees of military contractors were in Iraq for many years, and the U.S. has used them as contract soldiers. What word designates such hired soldiers?
East Rankin, Max.
Mercenary.
Yes.
For 10 points, how many stages are there in the life cycle of the butterfly?
East Rankin, Audrey. Yes.
For 10 points, on which date in June is Flag Day celebrated in the U.S.?
Jackson Academy, Bailey.
June 14th.
Yes.
Which 3 terrifying sisters of Greek mythology were so ugly that the sight of them?
Jackson Academy, Josh.
Gorgons.
Yes.
For 5 points, according to the New England Journal of Medicine, which drug could prevent tens of thousands of strokes every year from atrial fibrillation? This drug, an analgesic, is also called acetylsalicylic acid.
Jackson Academy, Bailey.
Penicillin.
No. East Rankin, Dillon.
aspirin.
Yes.
For 10 points, what sport has a perfect game score of CCC when expressed in Roman numerals?
Jackson Academy, Josh.
Bowling.
Yes.
For 15 points, name the U.S. president whose fiancée, Anne Caroline Coleman, returned his ring and died shortly thereafter, possibly having committed suicide, leaving him as the only president.
Jackson Academy, Josh.
Buchanan.
Yes.
For 10 points, which capital, one of the highest in Europe, is located on a plateau about 2,150 feet above sea level near the exact geographic center of the country? King Philip II made it the capital in the mid-1500s.
East Rankin, Dillon.
Madrid.
Yes.
For 10 points, which constellation depicts a man carrying a jug from which a stream of water pours toward the neighboring constellation?
Jackson Academy, Bailey.
Sagittarius.
No.
No answer from East Rankin. It's Aquarius. Identify the microorganism whose name is derived from the Latin word for a slimy liquid or poison. This term, in general, designates a harmful influence.
Jackson Academy, Dale.
Virus.
Yes.
Yes. And that concludes round 4. We'll be back in a moment with the final score. At the end of 4 rounds of play, the final score is Jackson Academy 395, East Rankin Academy 330. Jackson Academy, you are now the champions of the 2022-2023 Mississippi Academic Competition. Here to present the plaque for the 39th Annual Mississippi Academic Competition for the academic year of 2022-2023 is Dr. Jonathan Ambrose, Associate Vice President for the Student Experience and Dean of Students at Mississippi College.
The 39th Annual Mississippi Academic Competition began with 20 teams across the state. Congratulations to both Jackson Academy and East Rankin Academy for reaching the finals. What we just witnessed was absolutely amazing. I am now pleased to present Jackson Academy the plaque representing our 2022-2023 champions. Congratulations.